today's video is going to be the first part in a golf fitness series. So we're going to go through golf fitness. Today's part is going to be about home mobility and flexibility training that you can do in the off season before next year. Then part 2 is going to be about home strengthening. So why would you want to do strengthening for golf? And part 3 is more about how you can introduce some gym work or weights if you've got a garage gym like myself, or you've got access to a gym. And the 4th video is going to be putting it all together. So some example workouts literally broken down for you step by step exactly what to do. So the first thing I wanted to do was sort of talk about the golf swing in general and what things we need. So if you think about a typical swing, what you're needing with that swing, you need in shoulder flexibility and mobility, particularly with the lead arm. If you're a right-handed golfer, then that arm is abducting across you, so you need to have shoulder mobility in that way. And obviously as we turn, we're getting that thoracic rotation as well as hip rotation as well. So we want to have good thoracic spine, so middle part of your spine rotation. Otherwise it's going to mean you're going to compensate in other areas, and this is why I think a lot of people often get back pain and get other things with golf swings, because they don't have this relevant mobility that they need. And the other thing obviously is hip mobility. So we need to have both internal and external rotational mobility of the hips, and then also flexibility through the back of the legs. So calves and hamstrings need to be flexible enough so that we're not really hampered when we're leaning forwards, because often when you lean forwards, if you've got massively tight hamstrings and calves, it's going to really affect your mobility as well. So we just want to give the body the best possible chance of getting into good positions. It doesn't mean that you can't still get good positions if you're a bit stiffer, but in order to do that in a way that doesn't cause you injuries, doesn't cause you pain, and also is going to be there over the long term, because we know as you get older you will get less flexible, then I think doing this sort of training can be really helpful. So the first exercise is a side lying rotation, and this is going to help with your thoracic rotation. So by locking down that leg, what you do is you focus really on the spinal portion of the rotation, which is what you need obviously for the golf swing. And then also it stretches your chest and your hip as well. So it's a real good one for the golf swing, this. And if you find that you really struggle with this movement, then definitely it's something I would work on, because you will definitely find that if you get better with this, turning in the swing becomes easier. Then we've got a dynamic pec stretch. So standing against a bar, or you could do this against the wall at home or a doorway, and you just step through into the stretch. Just make sure you're pinning your shoulder blade back and down on the opposite side, which will give you a nice stretch in the pec as you do this. Then we've got our hip mobility drills. So for the hip mobility stuff, first one we're going to do is a triplanar quad. So this is a quads exercise. You hook your foot up onto a sofa or a couch or a bench, anything really, and then you move forward into the stretch, stretching the back leg while doing the arms in 3 different planes of motion. Straight up in front of you, rotating to the side, and then side bending. And what this will do is stretch your hip flexors in 3 planes of motion, opening up those hips. Then we've got a hamstring against the wall or against a doorway. So you'd lie through the doorway, leg on the doorway. You can see in the description or in the video, I'm actually against the squat bar, but basically the leg would be up against that doorway, and you would be lifting the leg that's on the floor. So you're stretching one side and you're dynamically stretching the other side. Then we've got our internal and external rotation of the hip. So for this one, we're going to go into a seated position, roll the legs to one side, and then we're going to stretch over both knees, as you can see in this video here. It's going to stretch the external rotators, so kind of the bum area on one side, and then more of the groin and into the internal rotators of the hip on the other side. And then we would roll to the other side and we would do the same thing. All the sets and reps for this are going to be on the video, as you can see in front of you. And that's it basically, guys. So you would follow this program and you would do this 2 to 3 times a week, and you will find that your mobility is going to improve no end if you keep doing these exercises. And that is going to lead into a more flexible body, a more mobile body, a body that's basically ready to swing the golf club, and in a way that hopefully then reduces your risk of injury. In the following video, in part 2, we're going to go into more home strength stuff you can do. So strength, why is strength important? And we'll go into that in the next video. But building in a little bit of strength stuff into this mobility routine would be really, really good for performance, for driving the ball further, for hitting the ball further, but then also for injury prevention. So we'll go through that in the next video. Hopefully this one was enjoyable. You've got a few exercises there that will really help you out. Have a go with those. Leave some comments in the section below and let me know how you got on with them, if you found any of them particularly difficult. And if you want to see more videos like this, please press the like and the subscribe button, click the bell icon, then you can see or be notified when other videos like this come out. I look forward to seeing you in the next 3 parts.